Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Mary Claire Haver, coming to you live today to talk about probiotics. I just posted a TikTok on probiotics, and I wanted to give you a little more background and detail as to, I get a lot of questions on what is a probiotic, what is a prebiotic, what is a postbiotic, and what is in each? Should you take them? Which kind should you take? What's the best brand? I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. So I was going to come and kind of give you my synopsis on all of it. So I am pulling my information from the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health as a department of the National Institutes of Health and the Department of Health and Human Services. So pretty much people who don't make a lot of money, who are just paid to do research and find out all the good stuff for you. So what are probiotics? So probiotics are live microorganisms, okay, that are intended to have health benefits when consumed or applied to the body. They can be found in yogurt and other fermented foods, in dietary supplements, and even in some beauty products. Although, most of us were kind of grown up and taught to think of bacteria and other microorganisms as germs and harmful, many are actually very helpful. And some bacteria help digest food, destroy disease-causing cells, or produce vitamins. Many of the microorganisms in a probiotic product are the same or similar to microorganisms that live in our bodies. And those are the ones I'm going to specifically be focusing on today. Is probiotic supplementation and probiotics found in food. Hang on one second. Okay, if you have any questions about probiotics or anything, just put them in the little box down here, the comment box down below. So what types of bacteria are in probiotics? So most probiotic supplements contain a variety of microorganisms. The most common bacteria belong to a group called Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium. Other bacteria may also be used as probiotics, such as Saccharomyces. So when you go to my daughter's walking around with the dog. When you go to a health food store, you go to look for a probiotic. I'll give you some tips as to how to pick one out if you decide you want to go this route. So, but let's talk about probiotics. So we've covered that. Those are the actual microorganism, the actual bacteria, and some yeast, okay, that you ingest. Now, they are naturally found in fermented foods like yogurt, kombucha, sauerkraut, Chinese pickles. Anything fermented is actually fermented with bacteria. Soy, miso, but you also can supplement probiotics. So is a prebiotic the same as a probiotic? No. Prebiotics are food for the probiotic, so food for the bacteria. In the form of soluble fiber. So a lot of probiotics will pack a little soluble fiber in but you probably get plenty of soluble fiber, hopefully, in your diet. Remember that for women, you should be getting a minimum of 25 grams of soluble fiber in your nutrition. I'm not talking about supplements, okay? In your nutrition. Men that pushes up to 38. So I try to shoot for 35. I want the upper limit of normal for a woman to be able to take them. So in 2012, so this is kind of old data, about 4 million U.S. adults, or 1.6%, had used probiotics or prebiotics in the past 30 days. I'm just curious, how many of you right now are taking a probiotic? So that was, almost 10 years ago. I want to know, just give me in the comments below, are you taking a probiotic? Are you thinking about taking a probiotic? So how might they work? Okay, so we are learning more and more and more about the gut microbiome. So our gut is not sterile. It's sterile at birth and then very quickly. So those of you who've had children, if you remember, the initial stool of the baby was that millet seed, kind of bright orange, day glow green color. And then it slowly over time, over about a month, changed to kind of what we think of as a greenish brown poop. Okay, that was because their gut became colonized with normal bacteria found in your skin. They got it ingested in the milk, they swallowed it, and then it populated the gut. They help our body maintain a healthy community of microorganisms, or can help your body return to a healthy level if you've had some kind of a disease that wiped out your gut. So if you're on antibiotics, quite often it will wipe out your gut microbiome. It can be disturbed from viruses, from bacteria. Anytime you've had diarrhea or nausea, vomiting, you can pretty much bet that you have wiped out your gut bacteria. We can eat a lot of things that are toxic to the gut microbiome, such as artificial colors, artificial flavors, anything not found in nature will, like killing off brain cells, will kill off your gut microbiome. How are probiotics regulated in the United States? Well, government regulation of probiotics is kind of complex. Depending on its intended use, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration might regulate it as a dietary supplement, which is when you go to the health food store, that's how those are regulated, as a food ingredient or even as a drug. So most probiotics are sold as dietary supplements, which don't require FDA approval before they are marketed. So you have to be really careful when you're buying supplements, especially online, that they have third-party testing, that what they say is in it, because the FDA is not regulating it. Be careful about health claims that they, magically cure diseases or different things. So if a probiotic is going to be marketed as a drug treatment for a disease or disorder, it has to meet the stricter requirements. So sometimes after Clostridium difficile infection, when your entire gut microbiome is wiped out, you could be put on a medicinal dose of probiotics, and that is regulated by the FDA. So the microbiome. So the microbiome is just a community of microorganisms that lives on us and in us, and is a very hot topic for research. There is now a human microbiome project. It started with the National Institutes of Health and it extended from 2007 to 2016. It played a key role in this research by mapping out what normal bacteria live in a healthy body. And so understanding of this normal microbiome is the basis that researchers around the world, including many supported by the National Institutes of Health, are now exploring links between changes in your microbiome and various disease. So microbiome changes have been linked to mental health disorders, to cancer, to increasing inflammation, all of the thing. So what has science showed us about the effectiveness of probiotics for health conditions? So probiotics show a promise for a variety of diseases, including prevention of antibiotics-associated diarrhea, necrotizing enterocolitis and sepsis in premature infants, treatment of infant colic, periodontal disease, and induction and maintenance of remission of ulcerative colitis. So a lot of gastrointestinal or dental diseases. Lots and lots of research is ongoing. It's been studied in Clostridium difficile, which is rare but is horrible if it happens to you, constipation, diarrhea, diverticular disease, inflammatory bowel disease, IBS, traveler's diarrhea, lots of stuff in babies. Also, conditions related to allergies, so allergic rhinitis, asthma, atopic dermatitis, prevention of allergies, acne, hepatic encephalopathy, respiratory infections, and urinary tract infections. So everybody wants to know, can I overdose on probiotics? Can they be harmful? So probiotics, word to the wise, have an extensive history of apparently safe use, particularly in healthy people. However, there's not a lot of studies that are out there that are looking at the safety of probiotics in detail. So there's kind of a lack of solid information on the frequency and severity of side effects. The risk of harmful effects of probiotics are greater in people with severe illnesses or compromised immune systems, especially if you get one from kind of a ratchet company that doesn't do a lot of testing and maybe it's contaminated. Hang on. Let's see. So the potential harmful effects of a probiotic are, if they're contaminated, include infections, production of a harmful substance by a probiotic microorganism, transfer of antibiotic resistance genes from probiotic microorganisms to other microorganisms in the digestive tract. That's a killer. And then when they've tested some like sketchy probiotics, they've been found to contain other microorganisms than is listed on the label. And sometimes these contaminants can contain serious health risks. So always do a legitimate company with third-party testing to keep yourself safe. Don't use probiotics as a reason to postpone seeing your healthcare provider. Please, 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 please. If you're considering a probiotic supplement, seeing your healthcare provider about any health problem, always as well. It's not a supplement before going to the doctor. So let's see. Specifically for women, so most of my followers, there are some pretty awesome studies. Probiotics for women in menopause. So there was a study done where they had two groups of women, both who were overweight and both who had hypertension. And they put them on the same diet, same food intake, and all they did differently was one group had to take the probiotic supplement and the other one didn't. And two important things happened. Both of their blood pressures improved. I mean, the blood pressure went down in the probiotic group. Also, the waist-hip ratio went down, which is a measure of visceral fat. So the belly fat in these women went down. What they think happened is keeping your gut healthy lowers your systemic inflammation levels. And when you lower your systemic inflammation levels, we know that you have decreased risk of deposition of visceral belly fat. And so their waist to hip ratio shrunk because their bellies got smaller. Holla. Okay, let's see. Whoa. Oh. Let's see. Do probiotics help with menopause? I get that question a lot. So probiotics may be helpful with menopause because they decrease inflammation throughout the body. They're not going to make your estrogen levels come back. That's not what I'm talking about. We see a dramatic increase in inflammation during the menopause. And so anything that we can do nutritionally to decrease the risk of inflammation or battle inflammation is going to be helpful. Let's see. They also have been found to lower blood pressure and to help with cholesterol levels. Go figure. So let's see. Let me do scholarly. I'm going to give you guys a couple more. Okay, so I went probiotic shopping after reading all these articles and deciding, okay, I think this is something I need to supplement. I'm not getting fermented products every day, so I probably need to supplement. I've got my fiber here. It gets thick. And here is my probiotic that I take. So I went supplement shopping. I knew I wanted one that had at least 1 billion cultures. Billions is better. We lose a lot in the digestive process. So you're going to kill off a lot just from ingestion, okay? So we're meant to ingest a lot of these. They're very, very safe. You want a bunch of different strains. You want as many different strains as you can find because they each have medicinal purposes. You want one that is third-party tested, and you need to do your research as to that. And you want to make sure they're not expired. Check the damn expiration date. So I went shopping at the local health food store here in Galveston, and I picked these. They didn't jump off the shelf. There was nothing magical, but they had, okay, this is Garden of Life, 85 billion cultures. I was like, all right, some of them will survive. And 32 different probiotic strain, a mixture of lactobacillus, bifidobacterium, and Saccharomyces, which are the big three. I was very specific about wanting lactobacillus because that is what colonizes the vagina in large amounts and keeps our vagina happy. Okay. You have bacterial vaginosis when you kill off your lactobacillus. So those of you who've been treated for UTI and then get a yeast infection, it's because you killed the bacteria off in the vagina and in the gut that keep the vagina healthy. Remember, the gut, the anus, and the vagina are that far apart in most women. Maybe that, but about that. And so there is a lot of cross-pollination between the two. You cannot keep the area sterile. It's not possible. So it is important that what goes in your gut, remember, it will basically try to get to your vagina. I'm reading most good bacteria are killed in the pasteurization product. So raw yogurt would be a better option for you, but then you're dealing with other potential things in the yogurt that might be harmful. So again, everything in balance. So I have not heard about switching probiotics each month. I'm going to go to the questions now. Okay. There is not one test to detect all gut issues. It's not there. You have to listen to your body on this one. You have to, one second. You should, hang on. They can test for parasites. So I would not do home treatments for parasitic infections. I would go to the doctor and give a stool sample and let them tell you if you have a parasitic infection. because they test for ovocysts and parasites, and they need to see them under the microscope to direct the proper care, and then some investigation to be done in the rest of your household. And I get asked about deworming all the time. I don't do medical stuff at home. I go to the doctor. Okay, so Microbiome Gut 360 test. I've never heard of it. Do you have to send in a poop sample? Because that would be the only accurate way to tell. Okay, there's no blood test is going to tell you what's in your gut because they don't cross. So you you need to send in a stool sample in order to get that test done correctly. So if you're willing to take a sample of poop and send it off to a lab and have them tested for different species, then go ahead, do it. Is cheese a no-no? A no-no for what? If you're lactose intolerant, there's some cheeses you can probably have in small amounts. But if you have an allergy to the milk protein, then you need to avoid cheese. Now, there's goat cheese, there is sheep's cheese, there is cow cheese, there's all kind of different cheeses. You know, you may have different ability to process those, but overall, if you don't have those conditions, dairy in moderation is usually just fine. It could be polycystic ovarian syndrome. It depends on her height and weight. You need to go and talk to your gynecologist about this, or your pediatrician if they kind of specialize in adolescents. 45-year-old female, what should my DRI be for 4 things? Can you give me a little more information in the comment box? I'm not sure what DRI means. And the 4 things, is that the Fab 4 challenge that you're talking about? So I don't know. Oh, your recommended daily, I think that's a typo. You mean your RDI, your recommended daily intake? Take a walk with me. We are going, come along with me. I'm going to show you on my chronometer app. This is the one I like. I'm going to show you my desktop. So I've loaded in what I've eaten today. I track every day. Yeah, it's a real skis for real skis. I do this. So I'm going to flip my camera around. Give me one hot second. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So I input on my phone, but then I kind of check at the end of the day on here. Here's kind of what I've eaten today. Here are the units. And I love to track added sugars. And I've only had about 2.3 grams of added sugar all week. Now, we are doing the Galveston 50 challenge, so I'm very, very, very specific about what I'm eating. But if I go here to consumed, okay, so on my desktop, I go here to consume. But if you're on your phone and using chronometer, you're going to click on this little circle right here that tells you how many calories. So I've only broken my fast and had my lunch today. So I have a lot more calories to go. This is my caloric goal for the day. Remember, I'm in maintenance. I don't really track calories that often. This kind of is how this is set up for me. So I don't care about calories. I'm really tracking down here. I am tracking the nutrition. You see the greens and the yellows? So on the phone, if you click on this circle and then you click on daily report, it will give you this information, okay? Even in the free version. So energy, so that's calories. Who cares about that? So carbs, I really want to know fiber. That's all I really care about in carbohydrates is my fiber. And of course, I want to have, this is natural sugars. I'm totally fine with that. I don't track my natural sugars. I don't care. See, no target. I set those up. Fats. So I'm looking for my monounsaturated, my poly. I want these two added together to be at least twice as high as this number. And for sure they are. So I am trying to keep my saturated to unsaturated fat ratio. But if you look over here, this is the RDI. Okay. Here is the gram amount that we're shooting for. So not so important here, but very important in vitamins and minerals. So the RDI is loaded here. Whoops. B1, BR2, all your vitamins. And look at that. I have gotten so much of this. Yay me. Okay, folate, I'm a little low. Okay, but I'm not done with eating yet. So I'm going to try to get some things that are rich in folate for dinner and for my snacks. So vitamin C, D, E, all that stuff. Minerals, here is the milligrams amount, and then here is the RDI and what percentage I got. This is why I love chronometer. So actually, y'all are inspiring me. I may do a little chronometer tutorial for Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a chronometer tutorial so that people can see this. I'll do it on my phone because that's the app that most people use. So the RDI is the recommended daily intake. It used to be called the RDA, the recommended daily amount of the... so yeah, I'll do a chronometer tutorial and then I'll post it today. I'll do it in just a couple minutes once I get off of this live. So let me see what the other questions are. UTMB. Who do I recommend for menopause OB-GYN? Dr. Russell Snyder. Hopefully he's still seeing patients. I don't work there anymore, but he's who taught me everything I know about menopause. And I've learned a ton on my own after I left the university. But he's really invested in menopausal women. He's married to one, and he's just lovely. And he's so smart, and he does not give up. So he's got some great ideas. I mean, he really taught me about perimenopause when we didn't, out of the required learning. So I really like him. Dr. Russell Snyder. Hang on. Where can I learn more about this and how it works? I'm not sure. So I have a Fab 4 challenge. I'm going to come out the blog. I have a whole system of how to get a blog posted. I have like an artist who does the artwork and everything. But if you go back a few TikToks ago, I have a whole post, and then there's a longer post, like I did an extended version, about the Fab 4 challenge of everything you've done for weight loss and it's not working. This is one little new way of tracking nutrition instead of calories that will probably change your life if you've never done it. And it's tracking 4 things: fiber, magnesium, vitamin D, and omega-3 fatty acids. And then seeing where you're deficient in your normal diet. Then the next week, you want to try to use food, not supplements, food, to try to get those RDIs up to 100%. So the blog that I'm working on has an extensive food list on foods that are rich in these things. And so highly, highly, highly recommend it. If you've never tried it, it's pretty cool. But you need a tracking app. So there's a lot out there. I have students who've done well with MyFitnessPal. I have students who've done well with Carb Manager. But remember, those apps were made for counting calories or for counting carbs for keto. But what you're really wanting out of that is the nutritional database, the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. And I found that Chronometer, I don't get paid. This is free advice. I don't get anything back from them, though we probably will partner with them for Galveston Diet, is they have a really pristine nutritional database with vitamins, minerals, nutrients loaded up. I just love it. Our blog is at galvestondiet.com, and then just click on blog. Go up, if it's on your phone, it's on the little hamburger on the left. Click on that and you'll see blog pop up. So yeah, let's see. Let me go to, what's the difference between fortified food and D3 supplements? Not much. So a fortified food is like they took the D3 and they dumped it into the food and then packaged it. So versus taking a supplement. So some people go for fortified foods. D3, vitamin D can be tough to get in your diet, especially if you don't do dairy, if you don't do fish, if you are allergic to fish or whatever. Vitamin D can be tough. I supplement vitamin D. Where is it? Here it is. I supplement omega-3 and vitamin D together. But again, these are my personal supplements. Supplements are individualized. I don't recommend blanket supplements for everyone. If you live in Japan, you are getting plenty of omega-3 and vitamin D. Maybe not so much on fiber. So let's see. Back to the questions. My dog is going crazy. Y'all might have to take a walk with me to go see what the hell he's doing. Rex! Let's go find him. What app is that? So the app is called Chronometer, Chronometer. It's my fave. And it is a great way to track your nutrition. Hang on. Let me get my dog. Hang on. Come here, buddy. Come here, baby. Rexy. Dog. Okay, let me keep answering questions until he runs back up here. He's barking at someone probably outside. 44 years, lifelong cystic acne. Start with a dermatologist for sure. I recommend starting the free version of Chronometer. Yes. It's free. You can upgrade, but start with the free version. Get used to it. Make sure you like it before you consider upgrading. It's about $40 a year. So, but absolutely. Oh, happy birthday, Blakey. Happy birthday. It's always your birthday during July camp time. I know that. She and my daughter were campmates for years at Camp Mystic. Okay. She loves to follow me on TikTok. She's so cute. Tell your mommy I said hi and your daddy. Okay. So check out Chronometer. I'm going to do a little tutorial on the app right now, and y'all can follow me on TikTok. Everybody take care.